All right, today's topic is going to be about mama's boy syndrome. Okay, um, I want to say off the top, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional. I'm not trying to tell you how to raise your kids or anything like that. It's nothing like that. I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm speaking from what I've learned. Speaking from what I've saw. With different people concerning young men and moms, and I'm going to speak on both aspects of the coin from both sides. Um, it's just advice, really. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to raise their kids or anything like that. But let me just say this: starting out as a young man, um, my mom had me uh, reading the Bible, and in the Bible, uh, the 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 chapter and the verses that she wanted me to read out of was Proverbs. Proverbs teaches you all about growing up as a child, and the do's and the don'ts. So on this subject here, I'm gonna read from this scripture right here. This is Proverbs 22:6. This says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he will not depart from it." Now that was a simple version of it. That wasn't King James version, but I got the most simplified version that I can, give you that you can have a better understanding about what I'm saying. So basically, you train up a child, and you expect for them to follow in the direction that you train them. Now, the problem that happen a lot of times is um, sons grow very attached to their moms, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And a lot of times, moms don't want to let the sons go, and the sons don't want to let mom go. And it comes a time in our lives where we have to uh, grow into that man. And honestly, it'd be difficult growing into that man, clinging so hard and so heavy onto mom. And me personally, I found in my life that I love my mom. My mom is still around. She's 70 years old, and I love her with all my heart. But uh, even though she taught me this way, following the Bible and the ways of the Bible, and the do's and the don'ts, it's still, when it came down to her and our relationship, it still ended up being over any other relationship that I had. And this is a problem. This causes problems because when you become an adult and you grow out and you start branching out and you start meeting other people, start dating and stuff like that, a lot of times young men get locked in uh, on mom and still following in the direction of mom. When the Bible says when you become a man, you have to grow as a man. And it's not a bad thing all the time to go to mom, to have mom as, ear, you're encouraging. But it comes a time in our life that we have to step out ourselves and make decisions for ourselves that everybody's not going to be happy about. And in my particular case, like it's been numerous of times that um, I made decisions based on how I thought my mom would feel about things. You know, I to me, like I didn't want to hurt my mom's feelings, uh, and not thinking about the feelings of the person that I'm involved with, and it's not supposed to be that way. And as a mother, you know, you shouldn't encourage your sons to follow in your every footsteps. Now, don't get me wrong. Listen. I don't want no moms to be on here like, how he gonna tell me how to be? No, no. I'm just saying from a mama's boy perspective myself, where I went wrong and where I should have made man adult decisions. I didn't. I didn't because I relied so heavily on what my mom wanted and how my mom felt. And the problem, the reason why I'm speaking on this is because, you know, I see there's a lot of young men that still locked in and on what mom tell them, even as they go into their 20s. They're still locked in on doing what mom tell them to do, and that's a problem. And if it's not a problem at this point, it's going to be a problem because when you find a woman, like when you move on in a relationship, especially if you decide to move on into a marriage, but I'm gonna speak on that on another time. But just moving into a relationship, it's two people that's coming together and they're making decisions and they making moves together, you know, and it should be decisions made between the two people. A lot of times relationships don't make it because the young men rely so heavy on what mom feel and what mom want instead of, you know, being a man and making that decision for themselves. Like I lost a lot of years and probably a lot of good people in my life because, you know, the mentality that I had was, I don't care what nobody say. That's my mom, and I'm gonna do, you know, what my mom feel is best for me. And looking back on it, like I made so many mistakes by not following in my own direction and my, you know, in my own path. And it took me longer to mature as a man because, you know, I was following in somebody else's you know, direction. And I'm saying this because I'm looking at a lot of the young people, like, and I get it. I get it. There's a lot of females that are, a lot of moms that are raising these kids by themselves. I get it. I was raised by my mom. Like my father wasn't around like that. So I get the fact of, you know, a good mom raising their child and raising their son in particular, and towards a good, positive, in a right direction. I get that. But it come a time where, just like birds, when I don't know how the story go, but I believe when a bird is feel like it's time for the little bird to leave the nest, they push him out the net, out the nest, and that's when they learn to fly that way. So basically, they flying for their life, and it's the same way with us in life. Like when we leave mom, we have to go out and we have to build on our manhood. You know, we have to make decisions, tough decisions on our own. Like I said, you can. I mean, advice is fine, but you can't live your life going by everything that your mom tell you to do, especially if it means you're going to be going against your partner. Like if you're valuing like opinions outside of your household in front of opinions that's in your household, like you and your partner, then your relationship is going to be a bust because eventually your the home is it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I heard something the other day and it kind of disturbed me. I was watching a YouTuber, and the YouTuber is a grown man, a grown married man, and the YouTuber and uh and and his wife was out getting supplies, and uh they was kind of arguing a little bit, even on camera. They was kind of arguing a little bit, and the wife was like, "Well, you know, you know, you need to be out here helping me with these things because we need these supplies." And this guy says, "I ain't worried about it. If I have any problems, I got my mama. I'm going to my mama house." And this guy, I can't really, I don't really know how old he is, but he got to be at least in his 40s. And in his mind, in a critical time through a storm, his mindset was the go to mama, the go to mama, not to go to mama to take care of mom, make sure mom okay. No, to save himself and go to his mama house. And not even to take his wife and save them. Save himself. Go to his mama house. When I heard that, I already was thinking about talking about this, but when I heard that, I said, see, it's a lot of this going on, and it's a problem. And I was the same way. I was the same way. I'm not judging nobody. I was the same way. Like, but I'm speaking like somebody older like that, they stuck in their ways. I really want these young men to have the help and the foundation that they need to be men, to stand up, to hold a household down, to take care of their families. You know, uh, this subject, this is something that need to be spoke on because, like, and like I said earlier, I get the fact that there are so many women that are raising these young men by themselves. And it's hard. I understand that. It was hard for my mom. My mom worked 3 jobs. I get it. But it comes a time where you have to let him go and be a man, even if it's tough. Even if it's tough for you to let him go. He has to be a man. I'm really surprised. Like, I feel bad because back in my time, we had uncles. We had uncles. We had, men in the community that would help when we needed help. Like, my dad didn't teach me how to change a tire on a car, how to fix different things on a car, how to fix my bike. My uncle taught me that. I learned that in the street, you know, but they're not going to be able to learn these things by being locked up and glued underneath a mama all the time. They got to get out and they got to start experiencing life and making mistakes They're gonna make mistakes, and hey, they even may end up back home a couple of times. I did. I got out. I failed, and I wound up having to go back home. But the thing with me, I fought hard as I could to get back out, because it's nothing like having your own. That was my mentality. Like some people is comfortable in their 30s living with their mom, and there's no judgment towards nobody. That's you. Me personally, my mom is like military style, a military style Christian, and it's like no sleep. There's no sleep at my mom's house. Like between the church music blasting and early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, banging on the door, asking, "What you gonna sleep all day? What you gonna do? Get up!" Like all that. Like, listen. The point is, I'm speaking on these things now because our young people need to be saved. Our young men need to be saved. They need to be men. They need to be men. And they need to uh, have the opportunity to go out and do some things as men. If they're going to be in relationships, they need to learn how to maintain the relationship one on one. Make the mistakes, whatever it is. They need to be able to do it together with their partner. They can't keep having the mentality of like that dude I say, "Oh, I just go back to my mama house." Like, no, no. And moms, you can't be so willing to say, "It's okay, baby. Come on back here. You ain't got to deal with her." Like, how long is they gonna keep living life, keep running back home, and and having that cushion? A lot of times, a lot of them is don't have no responsibility, not paying no bills. A lot of them won't get out because they got it so easy at home. And when they get out and they get into relationships and they fail, it's because, you know, everything has been so easy. And when they get out there and get hard, if they know that they can always run back, they're not gonna try to work at anything. You know, you can't run every time things get a little bit difficult in life. Things get a little bit rough. You can't run back to mama. You got to stand up. You got to fight. You know, fight for what you want. And moms, they have to be supportive. They have to be encouraging. You know, I'm speaking from personal experience, but I'm also speaking from the Bible. This is Proverbs. This is Proverbs. And the problem is my mom taught me this. She taught me this, but she still, on the other hand, taught me the uh, uh to put her first over, you know, that's the mindset I had. Like, and she allowed me to have and say, you know what, son, that's your relationship. You need to go on and take care and handle your business. You're not going to keep running back here on me when things get tough. You need to stand up, be a man, and take care of it. It took me a lot of years to get it. It took me a lot of losses to get it. But I had to realize that I have to, do some things for myself. I have to do some things for myself. And it's no shade against my mom. Like I said, I love my mom, and she did the absolute best that she can do. And, with what she had, with what she had. So, and I appreciate it and I love her for that because, like I said, my dad wasn't there, and she stepped right on in. She made sure that I had the things I needed. She made sure I went to church. Um, she made sure I had activities. I had the YMCA. boxing, karate, different things like that. She did everything she could to, make sure that I was okay. So I'm not bashing my mom. I'm not bashing no moms at all. But this is what's going to need to happen. Like these young men, I wish that there were more programs, that more mentors out here that young men can go to get that extra guidance for real life, because you know it's it's crazy. It's crazy out here. Um, no one is stepping up to help these guys. Like, I stopped at a gas station one time. It was these three young guys was out there. Their car was broke down. They asked me for help. I said, "What's going on?" They had a flat tire. Neither one of them knew how to change a tire. And that's sad. I'm not laughing at them, but it's sad that they wasn't around some man that, or somebody. You don't have to be a man. There's some women know how to change tires too. Like somebody that could have taught them, you know, about that. Or maybe they was in a household where, you know, they ain't had to worry about nothing like that. Like I see young men in the cars with their mom, and they sitting down in the cars while the mom go in the store and pay for gas and come out and pump their own gas. Like I never would have done that. Like I don't know. I don't even think my mom taught me that. I just think it was something that I just automatically did. You know, I got the money for my mom. I went in the store and paid for the gas, and I came out and pumped the gas. Like I didn't need her to tell me to go in and do that. Like it was automatic. But I see it so much now. I think that, you know, it's going to have to be a little bit more tough love to go with it. If you want your young man to be a man, I ain't talking about no sucker, no, somebody that you can't depend on for nothing. Like, we have to be firm and let them know, listen, I'm your mama. I'm here for you, but it's time for you to start doing some things for yourself. Like, you want your son to grow up to be a good man, good, strong, positive man, taking care of his family. This is what you want. You know, this is what the Bible tells us. The Bible tells us this. I learned this in church. Probably when I was 10, 11. They had us reading Proverbs. Proverbs teach you all about growing up as a young person and growing into manhood or womanhood. It teaches you all about that. And we have to do better. Moms, y'all have to let them boys grow into men. I get it. When they underage, they completely under your direction. That's the guidance time. That's where you leading and you guiding. But when they become men, it's time for them to experience things as men, not being up under mom all the time. They got to get out. They got to start doing some things as a man. And um, what you teach them and how you guide them will help them moving forward when they move into relationships. You know, the respect, it'll be more respect in a relationship. Um, it'd be more balance. Like, nowadays, like you seeing more women out here working and the men sitting home. Like I used to work for a trash company, and we roll out 4 o'clock in the morning. We be rolling through some neighborhoods like 5 o'clock, and we see the women out there starting the cars up like it's dead cold in the morning. The women going out and starting their cars up, and by the time we come back through the block, the women is done got in their car and went to work. And then time you come back through the neighborhood later on, by the time the sun is out, you see the dudes sitting out on the porch drinking, chilling. And the sad thing is a lot of these dudes is young men. Young men. We got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do better with our teaching and our training. And like I said, I'm not judging nobody, but you know, if you want your son to be a good man, you can't baby him. You got to let him grow into a man and face the challenges of a man. I get it. You want to protect them. You want to protect them, of course. But they got to get out their house. They got to start learning how to do things as men even before they become 18. Like I was working at 15, you know, and I loved it. I loved it. I loved it for the fact that um, my mom, when she shopped for me, she bought, like the cheap clothes or whatever like that, and that's fine. It was fine to a point. Yeah, I got laughed at and stuff like that, but when I got out and I started working and making money for myself, I was able to buy some of the things that I like, and that made me feel better as a young man. Like I felt better myself, and I ain't mad at my mom. Listen, my mom was on a budget. She trying to pay these bills, car note, stuff like that. Like I wasn't looking for my mother to buy me no name brand clothes or nothing like that. Like no, I wasn't looking for nothing like that. But some things I wish I wish could have been different. But it is what it is. But when I went out and I started working for myself, she taught me how to save. Well, actually, my stepdad taught me how to save. Um, I was able to, get some things that I like, where I felt comfortable, I felt good, and shoot, I was okay. I was okay with that. Like I said, my problem was when I left the nest, like decisions, important decisions, relationship decisions, and life decisions, I always relied off of what my mom felt, like what she think, what she want me to do. And yeah, sometimes I went off and I made decisions for myself, and it was good at times, and then sometimes I made the wrong decision. But that's something that I needed. I needed to learn. I need to have that experience myself. Like you can't protect them all the time. They got to make mistakes. That's the only way they're gonna get better. That's the only way they're gonna be smarter and wiser. You know, and the best time to make the mistakes is when you're young. When you get 40 years old and you still doing the same thing that you was doing when you was daggone 18, like that's a problem. That's a problem. But like I said, this ain't no judgment towards no moms. I support all of the good, hardworking moms out here that's trying to take care of their kids the best way they can, trying to do the best they can. And I know in a lot of cases, the fathers is not stepping up. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. And it's sad. But even down to that, a lot of that goes back. It goes back to the beginning. It goes back to the beginning. You know, when a man feel like you know, he can just leave and abandon his kid. Like what's going on in his head, mentally, that he feel like that's okay. Like I have 3 children and it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to work out as far as the relationships. But ain't nothing in this world would stand in the way of me loving my kids. And I faced resistance at times, but it wasn't me. I love my kids, and to this day, I love my kids and I support my kids. So, um, I mean, the best that I can, you know. But the fact of the matter is, like, you know, I just want our young people, our young men, to have a better start. To have a better start. If they can get off to a good start, like they can move ahead. Like they gonna make mistakes, but they can move ahead a little bit smoother, a little bit faster. If they know that their behind is on the line, if they don't pay that rent at their apartment or their house, then they gonna do what they gotta do. But if they know that they always can fall back on mom, and like they ain't gonna worry about it. They're not gonna worry about it. They're just gonna want mom to cater to their need, and a lot of moms just be happy to do it. But that's a problem. That's a problem because the more they get used to that, the older they get, the less they want to do for themselves, and the longer it's taking them to mature as men. As men. So, um, like I said, I'm not no doctor or nothing like that. Like, I'm just a person with experience that's been through some things, and I'm telling on myself. I was a mama's boy, and I still love my mom. I still love my mom, and to be honest, for so many years, I went along with the things that she wanted me to do. To this day, it's still kind of hard for her to understand that you know I'm doing things my way now. Like it's still kind of hard for her, but you know, slowly but surely she's beginning to understand. Like you know, when what the Bible tells us. When a man, uh, when a boy turns to a man, he has to grow. He has to grow. He has to mature. This is what she taught me. She taught me this Bible. You can't go in the Bible and teach and then try to take some of the stuff out of it because you want things to be a certain way. Like no, the Bible. I stand on the Bible. The Bible is truth, and I know that's people gonna argue about that. They don't. Different people changed and wrote the Bible. I ain't here to argue about no Bible. All I'm saying is this verse that I read here in the Bible. I see truth in it. I see truth in it. And I feel like it's legit. And I feel like it's something that God wants for us as men. As young people. It's not only for men, it's for men and girls. I mean boys and girls. This particular verse. Proverbs 22:6. That's for boys and girls. Growing from young people into adults. But I'm speaking on the boys right now, the boys that's going into men. But I just wanted to have a little conversation about this because you know this is a very important subject, and our young people our young people are losing their way. you know and I want them to be saved. I want them to be good. I want young men to grow into be to grow into good, strong men, stand up type guys. You know, I want moms to be proud. Of course, you're gonna be proud of your kids, but you know, but listen, you be even more proud of them when they get out here and they start accomplishing some things on their own, like everything that you instilled into them. Hey, they say, well, how they say, it won't come back void. It will be, you know, when they start bringing those certificates and stuff, and you start having all of that good stuff on your wall, it's all from your teachings. It's all from your teachings, you know. But I just wanted to speak on this situation. I'm sorry I got a little tongue tied in the beginning. I lost my train of thought. I'm so anxious, anticipating getting this thing going. Like it's on my mind, really heavy, and it's become a problem. It's been a problem, but now I'm seeing even more that it's, you know, we have to encourage these young people. We have to really stay on them and really encourage these young people. I apologize. Speaking of mom, that's mom keep on calling me. But yeah, I'm not going to stay on here long. I wanted to have a conversation about this situation, and like I said, I'm not trying to step on nobody's toes or call nobody out or make nobody feel bad or anything like that. I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm speaking on how I'm seeing a lot of our young people. Um, they just we have to do better. We have to do better as a people. You know, as far as these young people, because they the future. They are our future. You know, and I don't want my future to be, you know, just don't want to do nothing for themselves. You know, and I have a son. I talk to him from time to time whenever he want to listen. But you know, I preach the same thing to him. Like, you know, you have to find your own path. You know, and just a good, decent individual, like you want to, because I was the type of person, like I always want to try to help everybody, always want to try to save everybody, but it was at the I was sacrificing myself and my needs and my family and everything, trying to save everybody else. But you know, we have to teach them, you know, to be more stronger, to be more, you know, independent in their thinking. And it starts from moms letting them go, letting them get out here and experience what life really is, letting them have the chance to uh, pay bills and you know, be responsible. Uh, just no free ride. Like, hey, you're a man. It's time to get it. You know. So, anyway, I just wanted to touch on this. Um, I'm glad everybody stepped in. Uh, I'm looking to see if I see any comments. Who's that? Wow. What's up to anybody out there? I can't see that the screen over there. Yeah. WTE. I got my assistant over here. She reading to see what the names. I can't see that well, but listen. Hey, I'm glad you came in. You took the time to sit down and listen to me, and I appreciate your support. And listen, my mission is to try to help in any way I can. You know, if you find yourself having questions about anything, just hit me up, and if I can answer your questions, I answer your questions, whatever. You know, because I just want to help y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, the young people. I don't know how old you are, but I know the young people is our future, and I want our future to be bright. You know, so I'm doing my part. You know, the same way my uncles stepped in and helped me out, encouraged me when I needed encouragement. Hey, I'm the YouTube unc, and that's what I'm gonna do, any way that I can. You know, so for the time being, I'm about to go on and sign on off because one of my responsibilities, my mom. I went on live kind of early today, but I usually go in and put her eye drops in her eyes, and that's probably why she keep calling me. But I still look out for mom. I still look out for mom. I'm 52 years old, and I still look out for mom. But as a man, as a young man, you have to start moving towards um, improving yourself as a man, and making decisions for yourself. And moms, y'all have to start letting these young men be men. Let them be men. You know, stand on it. Let them stand on it. You know, but anyway, till the next time we meet, uh, I'll probably put another subject area up there probably tomorrow. But I just wanted to kick it off with this one. I'll think of what to name my my talks. Anyway, I'll keep y'all updated with everything. But like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking by me. Thanks for subscribing and liking my channel and everything like that. Until the next time, love, peace, and blessings. And that's one.